All right, we're looking at volume today of a whole bunch of different things. Now, if you have trouble drawing these, it's a very simple way to do it. You draw your rectangle, and you draw it kind of slanted, cross, down.
It's easy, you
Draw the square on the back side. All right, so that's the easy way to draw it. All right. In order to find the volume of a rectangular prism, a box, it's the area of the base times the height. This is the formula you're going to see on the ELCT. Capital B times H. And you're going to see that capital B a bunch of different times. That just means the area of the base. Well, the base is a rectangle. What's the area of a rectangle? Length times width. So understand what this capital B means when it's talking about the area of the bottom, whatever the bottom is. In this case, it's a rectangle. All right, for these, very simple. You got length times width times height, or base times height, capital B. All right, 8 times 7 times 11. And that is
336.
660.
616. 616? 8 times 7 times 11. All right, the next one. All right, what is this figure called right here when they all match?
A square? A cube?
A cube. It's a three-dimensional square. So a cube has the same side length for all three parts.
So that's just...
You really could do 7 cubed if you wanted to. Either way is going to work the same.
343.
All right, so we shouldn't have any problem with those. You're just plugging the numbers in. Length times width times height. All right, next one is a rectangular prism. And it's important that we say rectangular because that's telling me that the bottom is a rectangle. Triangular prism, you do it different. We're just going to look at the rectangular one. 1/3 length, width, height. So it's the same thing as a box. This one right here. It's just you put the 1/3 in front of it. Now, the most important part of this is that right there. The height, when it's talking about the height, you're going to have something like this in the middle with a right angle with it. This right here is not the height.
So when you have to do that A squared plus B squared,
You could conceivably have to. Normally they're going to give this to you.
Okay.
All right. So that's not the slant. That's not the. Excuse me. That's not the height. If it's slanted, do not use it for height. The only way it can be height is if it's got the right angle in there. All right, so if I'm doing this first one, I'm going to do 1/3 length, width, height. So where did the length and the width come from?
8 and 9.
That's the bottom. All right. So that would be 8 and 9, 9 and 8. It really doesn't matter which way you put it in
And
there.
then 40.
And then the 7 is what kind of height?
Slant.
Slant, which means
No.
don't use it. I've got to use the 10.
Oh, I thought that.
All right? You cannot use, if it's slanted, you cannot use it in the equation. That's a 10.
I thought it was 40.
All right. So I would do 1/3 times 8 times 9 times 10,
240.
240.
Get off.
All right. So when I come over here, I'm doing 1/3 length, width, and height again. So 1/3 times 15 times 11 times 12.
$660.
All right. Any questions or problems with that?
Nah, got it.
All right. Looking at a couple more of these. 1/3 length, width, height. So 1/3, 12, 10, 8. And that one is 320. Is that right? So over here, I'm going to go 1/3 length, width, height. So 1/3, 14, 10, 9. How much is that? All right. Are there any questions about it? All right. For cylinders, again, you see that capital B? What does that mean again?
Base.
The area of the base. Well, the base is a circle. What's the area of a circle? Pi r squared. Then you just put the height behind it. So if I'm looking at a cylinder, it's the area of the base, which is a circle, times the height. So we got the formula is pi r squared h. Find the radius, which in this case is what? So I plug in the 6 for the r. Height is 10. Now, there's a good chance they're going to want the exact version. How would I do the exact version on this?
Just numbers. Don't use
6 squared, so 36 times 10 would be 360. Put pi behind it. Now y'all give me the decimal version.
1131.
All right, so be able to do either one of those, the exact or the decimal. So coming over here, same formula, pi r squared h.
4.
Radius is what? 4. Not the 8, because 8 is diameter. And then height is 12. So going back, if I wanted the exact answer, that's going to be 16 times 12, which is 192. Put pi behind it. And then the decimal version,
603.2.
Can you show me the start of
first one here, I'm going to do pi r squared h again. So pi 5 squared 11. The exact version would be 275 pi, and the decimal version would be
863.1.
All right, coming over to the second one, I'm going to do pi 6 squared 15, because again, we can't use the diameter.
545.
So 540 pi.
And then 1696.5.
All right, when we're looking at a cone, we're just going to do 1/3 of the cylinder, so 1/3 of that pi r squared h. Same deal as before. The height has to be straight up and down. So what are you looking for on that? How do I know when I'm got the height?
It has the square on the bottom.
When it makes the right angle. You have to see that right there for the height to work. You will never use the slanted ones on the side. All right, so if I go to,
So why do they put the slanted ones on the side? Just to knock you off?
just to see if you know what you're supposed to be doing. So here on this first one, that would be 1/3 pi r squared h. What is my radius?
7.
7, so 7 squared. Height is 10. Might say 49. The exact would be 490 over 3 pi. Y'all gonna have to tell me the decimal version. Decimal version will be the 513.1 you type in and work it out. So when I come over here to the second one, I'm going to do 1/3 times pi. What is the radius on this one? 7.5. Can't do the 15 because that's diameter. Height is, all right, y'all are going to have to tell me this one too. What is the exact version on this one? This one is not going to be a good one. I tell you what, when we have the decimal and a fraction in there, don't do the exact unless I say so on something like this, because this one's going to have a decimal inside of a fraction, and I don't want to deal with that. So just give me the decimal answer only for this second one over here. Say it again. 471.2. All right, first one over here. 1/3 pi r squared h. So 1/3 pi 4 squared 7. What is my exact?
112 over 3 pi.
112 over 3 pi. And decimal version.
0.3.
Then I come to the second one over here.
144.
Hold on. 6 squared, because that's my radius. Height is 12. This one works out to be just a regular number because this 3 goes into the 36 you get here or the 12 there. And now the fraction's gone. Decimal version,
452.4. That is not wrong. Those do not jump.
Alright, so for this, if it's three-dimensional like this, we got the bottom part, which is a rectangular prism, so I've got to do that.
And you have to give us that.
And the top part is the cylinder. So I know this one is length, width, and height. I know this one is pi r squared h. So they're my two things that I've got to do.
Yes, split at 16.
Alright, here's where we've got to be able to figure out the parts. The 10 and the 4, there's my length and width, that's the bottom. The question is, what is the height?
You gotta do 16 minus X, I think.
So we just do 16 right by 2.
Nope.
No.
You wouldn't do
You gotta find the
16.
radius first.
I need to find what the radius is.
So what you're gonna do, 10, since that's like the diameter of the circle, you see that?
This 10 down here is that 10 right there. Those are the same. So that tells me that this radius that I need is 5. So now what is the height? We still haven't got to the height. 16 minus 5 or 11. For the height, I had to do 16 minus 5. Find the radius and then do the total height minus that radius. So 10 times 4 times 11 is 440. Now I move to the cylinder. Well, we've already done the radius because that was the 5. So pi times 5 squared times the height, which it gave me was, or
It's gonna be the width of the.
11.
normally people want to come back over here.
It's 4.
The height is this right here. There's the height of the cylinder. So I'm gonna need the decimal versions on this right here. That would be 314.1 or something.
314.
14.2.
0.2. All right, but
You gotta divide by 3.
this is the whole cylinder.
You have to.
And I only have half of a cylinder, so I take that 314 and divide by 2. So I take these two measurements and add them together, and that will tell me the total volume that I'm dealing with. All right, going back, same deal. I got the rectangular prism here, which is length, width, and height. I've got the cylinder, which is pi r squared h. 14 and 5 are my length and my width. In order to find the height, I need to realize those are 7s all there for the radius.
22 minus 7. That's what I got.
So for the height, I've got to do 22 minus 7 and get 15. So 14 times 5 times 15 gives me 1100.
It's not that.
Is that right?
No.
I got 1050.
1050. 1,050. Yeah, 1,050.
All right. Go to the cylinder. That's pi,
7
the
squared.
7 squared, and then the 5 for the height.
You get 769.7.
All right. But
You divide by 2.
Divide by 2.
that's got to be divided by 2.
4.9.
So then I take these two and add them up. 1,050.
114, 3.9.
8.8.
What's that?
I got 0.8 too, but it's
Is
just
that
the
right?
rounded thing that they rounded. It's 0.8.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's the same answer.
All right. So are we good with that one?
They just rock.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. It's not wrong.